Good morning. Okay, today we are going to work with Chapter 12, Lesson 2A. Instead of doing a PowerPoint presentation, which is what I usually do for this class, the way we're going to work today is a little different. I am going to do a practical class. So what we're going to work today with? We're going to work with volume. So volume of shapes. Volume. But we're going to work with volume. When we talk about volume, we are automatically talking about shapes that are in 3 dimensions. So we are talking about 3D shapes. And today, for our lesson, for the purpose of our lesson, we're only going to talk about prisms and cylinders. Okay, so we are going to talk about prisms and cylinders. How do we find the volume? What is volume? Volume is the amount of stuff that you can put inside of a place. So for example, if you're thinking about our classroom, what is the amount of air that is in our classroom that is going to fill up all the space we have here? So we're talking about volume. How much air does our classroom fit? Or if you're talking about a container, how much rice can you put inside a container? How many grams can you put inside a container? So that is measured, and we will know about volume. So to give you today some examples, I think I'm going to give you 2 examples today. If we have time, I'll give you a third one. But to start, we are going to work with a rectangular prism. So I brought here a pack of cards. These are like get well cards, hello cards. So this is sort of like a box. So this is a rectangular prism. So how do we find the volume that goes inside this little container here that I have? The volume is found with one simple formula. And the formula for you to find a volume is this. You have to use the area of the base, and you get the area of the base and you multiply by the height of your geometric figure. So this here is equal to volume. So volume is nothing more than the area of the base times the height of the shape. So we've been learning about area, how to find area of circles, area of squares, triangles, trapezoids, and that is in preparation for studying volume. So we now know how to find area. We are top on that, and now we're going to do a little more, which is get the area multiplied by the height. So here we go. I'm going to get my container again. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure my container here. I brought my tape. So this here is the base, which is 2 bases, bottom and top. So what I have to do is just to find the area of the base, not multiplying by 2, just one of them. So I come here and I measure. Here we go. I measure it, and it measures 15 centimeters. So the area of my base, so my base here is a rectangle. So my base here is a rectangle. How do I find the area of a rectangle? I find base times height. This is how I find the area of a rectangle. And then I'm going to have to multiply this by the height of the figure, the geometric figure, which I will measure in a little bit. So this is H for height. So now I already measured here, 15 for the base. So this is 15 times, so here we go, measuring my base again. So I measured how much it is this way. Now I'm going to measure how much it is this way. So base times height, and here I have 10 centimeters. So base times height, 15 times 10. Okay, this is how I find the base. So this is the base of my this is, oh, it's not a square, it is a rectangle. So this is my base. And now I am going to find the height. So what is the height? This is the base, this is the other base. So the height is the distance between these two bases right here, which when I look, let me see how much it measures. Whoop. It measures 14.5. So the height here of my geometric figure is 14.5. And these measurements are all in centimeters, okay? I'm using a centimeter. Since for me to find the volume, I find the area of the base and I multiply it by the height. That's what gives the three-dimension proportion in my figure. What do I have to do? 15 times 10 is 150 multiplied by 14.5, which is the height of my prism. So when I multiply 150 by 14.5, what I get is that the volume is equal to 2,175 centimeters cubed. And here is the difference. When I find area, we've been working with this. So when I find area, this is centimeters square, right? Area is in square meters, or is square, the measurement square feet, square meters, square centimeters. This is also one more centimeter. So I have 2 centimeters, centimeters squared multiplied by one more centimeter. So that gives me centimeters cubed. So area of the base. So I have to know the base of my shape, and I multiply that by the height of my figure. So area of the base times height, right here. And then I multiply it by the height of my shape. Base here, got base times height, and I multiplied by the three-dimensional measurement, which gives me the height of my prism. So now, this is the first example I'm giving you. Now we're going to go to our second example. Our second example is a cylinder. See, round. Look, what do I have here? I have a circular base, and I have the height of my container, the height of my cylinder. So let me erase this one, and we will find the area of that one as well. Okay, so for me to find it, again, how do I find the volume? The volume is measured by the area of the base. I'll just write that, area of the base times the height. Okay, so area of the base times height. Depending on my figure, the area of the base changes. All right, so for the volume of this particular shape that we are going to work with right now, I have to find the area of the base. My base is round. So my base, I will have to find the area of a circle. So I will have to use which formula? Pi times r squared. That gives me the area of the base. And then I will multiply by the height. Look, this is the height of my cylinder. So I will multiply by the height of my cylinder. So let's measure here to see what the radius is. Let me put this lid over there. Let me measure, see how much my diameter here is. Whoop. My diameter here is 10 centimeters. So if my diameter is 10 centimeters, that means that my radius is 5 centimeters. So I cannot forget that every time I'm working with area, I'm not working with diameter. I am working with radius. So here we go. The volume is going to be pi 3.14 times the radius. I just found it because I measured it. 5 square times, now I need the height of my container. The height of my container. So I'm going to measure from here from the top up to the bottom. And this is 18 centimeters and a half. So this is times 18.5, which is the height of my cylinder. Now I have to multiply. Remember that 5 to the second power is 5 times 5. We're talking about power here and not just a simple multiplication. So the volume here is going to be, since we can use calculator, so I already went ahead and I did this. So this is 78.5 times 18.5 centimeters square, because this is the base, times centimeters. So our answer is going to be in centimeters cubed. So the volume here is 78.5 times 18.5, which is 1,452.3 centimeters cubed. Okay, so every time we find the answer, we just circle, we box the answer, or we highlight if we're working on paper. So here we go. Again, just a quick recap. Volume is found with the area of the base, and we all know how to find areas of the base. We've been practicing this in chapter number 12. And then what we have to do is to get the area of the base and multiply it by the height of my geometric figure. I hope this is helpful, and I will post another video with another shape, a triangular shape for a prism, so you will have one more example to base your studies. I will see you next class.